You grew up with more traditional parenting, then connection can often feel like you're rewarding bad behavior versus punishment, where you're teaching your little kids, hey, this is not okay. So let me share with you how you don't get stuck in that cycle. The first thing is I want you to shift how you see tricky behaviors, tantrums, hitting, meltdowns, things like that. I want you to see them as a cry for help. Your little one is literally asking you for help. And this applies all the way up through like 7 and even older, because little kids don't have the impulse control to make more logical, rational decisions. So when your little one is throwing a tantrum and they're throwing toys across the room, in your brain, I want you to start to shift that to them saying, Mom, I need help. The same way they would if they had a pair of scissors and cut their finger and they were crying, Mom, I need help. Now, if they cut their finger, you wouldn't think of coming over, giving them a hug, helping them get a Band-Aid, taking them to the hospital as a reward for their bad behavior. You would think of it as helping them. And then in your brain, you would probably go, okay, they can't be trusted around scissors. Let's make sure the scissors are put up, or they only do the scissors when I'm around to watch them because that's too tricky right now. You would prevent that situation from happening again. That's why I want you to see the tricky behavior too, especially when it comes to using games and activities, play, silliness to regulate your little ones when they're having a hard time. How can we just shift and prevent it on the front end and give them the play, the connection, the silliness, the games, the regulating before it turns into a tricky behavior? So if your little one is always throwing a huge tantrum at like 3 o'clock, they start throwing toys and eventually you put them into their room for timeout or for a quiet time or for a break. Maybe they're actually showing you, hey, this time of day I'm tired, I'm overstimulated, I need some quiet space. So you start implementing that before it gets to the point of them having this tantrum meltdown and throwing the toys. You do the regulating games and activities, you do the regulating play. This wind is wild. Before it turns into a tricky behavior. That is like the true goal of these sort of activities. And obviously it's not always perfect. This isn't like a perfect system. It's parenting. There's days and humans and emotions and things involved. But like that's where I'm at now with my kids who are 5 and 3 is 90% of the time I can give them the regulating activity or the game or the play before it tips over that tipping point into bad behavior, into meltdowns, yelling, throwing, hitting each other, anything like that, because I can see and I know their triggers and I know how to help them and prevent it on the front end.